हल्की हल्की धूप दे नाल बहता बहता पानी, कुछ मेरी कहानी कुछ तेरी कहानी, आइए सुनते हैं खुशी की जुबानी. A very good afternoon, namaskar, sat sri akal, adab. I am Neha and I welcome you all to the beautiful session, Happiness Makes the World Go Round. Our panelists today are personalities from diversified backgrounds. So it'll be interesting to gain varied insights on happiness. Aren't you all looking for happiness? I see a lot of crowd here. So we all are looking for happiness, I believe. Can we hear it from you? Happiness is about clapping hands as well. It's not only about mannerism, but about women empowerment. So I am going to first introduce to you lovely lady and a charming lady, Miss Lily Swarn. Her versatility can be seen in her personality. She has been awarded various national and international awards, which Niharika has already mentioned. She's a person who accepts life as it comes to her. And another thing, it's a day of happiness. It's her birthday also. So wish her a very happy birthday, ma'am. Our second panelist is Mr. Vivek Atray, a motivational speaker, and I could go on and on. But he's a person with a dignified personality and there's a lot of humor in him that I think we'll hear it on stage right now. Can we hear it from all of you? A huge round of applause from us as well. And our third panelist is Mr. Gurdeep Hari, a person who believes that health is wealth. And on a personal note, he introduces his wife as his happiness. I think a lot of men here need to learn that as well. Can we hear a huge round of applause from all of you, please?
And a privilege to be sitting with such erudite and such wonderful gentlemen, and to be moderated by you, Neha.
Thank you, ma'am.
So we're talking about happiness, and it's such a vast subject which can be put into one grain of rice, if you ask me. क्यों? क्योंकि ये जो हल्का हल्का सुरूर है, ये तेरी नज़र का कसूर है. और इट कुड बी राम राज बैठे त्रैलोका, हर्षित भये गए सब शोका, वैरु नकीनी विपत्ति नकीनी, सभाएं परस्पर प्रीति करती. और इट कुड इवन बी कि मैं नच्चा 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 नी मैं आगो आगो मच्चा, गीता पाओ कुड़ियों, एंड सुखमनी अमृत प्रभनाम, भगत जना के मन विश्राम. So happiness is not something you drive to. कि चल जी मैं अपनी मर्क कटी, then let me go for a drive to happiness. It's not something you're going to wear like I'm going to wear my new Banarsi dupatta because it's my birthday. No, happiness is something which you live and imbibe yourself. कभी किसी को उसका कसूरवार ना ठहराया जाए, कभी किसी उसको उसका जिम्मेदार ना ठहराया जाए अपने दुख का, and especially not the man who made you, the one who made you, the Ek Omkar. Why? He never wants you to be unhappy. He wants you to be happy and he knows best. So happiness is something which you have to find for yourself and spread. आनंद की फुलझड़ियाँ. कि आज तुम बड़ी अच्छी लग रही हो. If you tell your maid, she loves it. आज तुम्हारी चुन्नी कितनी अच्छी है ना, सिमरन कितनी सोनी चुन्नी पाके आई है. She lights up like a 1,000,000-watt bulb. Her day is made. Her husband might have beaten her, her kids might have been nasty to her, but when you tell her कि आज तेरी चुन्नी कितनी सोनी है सिमरन, I think you've done your bit for the day. Or if you sit with your mother and whisper in your ear, कि तुहाडी लोन जो है तुहाडी बड़ी चंगी. I think that is happiness. When you spread happiness, you get happy yourself, Neha. कि अगर आप किसी को खुशी दे सकते हैं, उससे ज़्यादा आप खुश हो ही नहीं सकते. I think it's something to do with the martyr hang up. मतलब अगर आप martyrous feel कर रहे हैं, किसी के लिए शहीद हो रहे हैं, I think you're already feeling a bit happy yourself, as if you've done it. I don't know, Vivek, what do you say about it? Yeah? Okay. All right.
Mr. Gurdeep Hari, what are your thoughts on happiness?
Well, happiness, it all begins from within. Like she so rightly said, that God didn't make unhappiness. He created us so beautifully, and when He made the creation, they say it took Him 7 days to do it. Basically 6 days of work, and 7th day, they say He rested. So today is that 7th day, today is Sunday, but in fact, today is day number 1. As She says,
Thank you, sir. Absolutely.
the day you begin to realize that you are here to be happy, that is your day number one. Your journey begins from that particular day. So God made us in His own image, and that is the image of happiness. Now, how can we be happy? There are various ways which Lily ji ne explain kiya. This is the way: dance, sing, romance. We all want to be happy, but we don't realize that happiness is an internal job. If tomorrow, let's say you want to go to Los Angeles, you got to do all the things that you need to do to reach to Los Angeles. And if you say that I'm going to be happy when I reach Los Angeles, then you are going to miss the boat of happiness. Happiness begins from the moment you start planning your journey. You start collecting the money. You go to the US Embassy to apply for the visa. If you go to the embassy in a happy mode, definitely that happiness will rub onto the person who's going to give you the visa. If you go as an unhappy person, I'm certain you are going to be rejected. So happiness is the key, and the happiness should begin from the moment you start planning your journey. Your journey from here to the US Embassy, to buying the plane ticket and reaching your destination should be full of happiness. Not that when you reach your destination. So happiness is a daily job, and why people are not happy, this I'll share with you later, but happiness is what it is. I am nothing but happiness. I am nothing but love. Love is happiness, happiness is love. So loving yourself is the first step on the journey of being happy.
Thank you, Mr. Hari. Mr. Atray, what are your thoughts on
I don't
happiness?
think I need to speak much today. Is my mic working? Last row, raise your hand, please. You're raising your hand, so you hear me then. Why you raise your hand? Right? Is this better? Okay. So having heard Neha, who made you all kind of very, very Josh, Bhara and enthusiastic in the beginning, and Lily ma'am, who made you smile and laugh a little, smile more and laugh a little less, but happy birthday once again. Happiness-filled birthday to you. And then you heard Gurdeep ji, who's kind of made you all philosophical and thinking about God and why we're here, and his voice also sounds as if he's speaking from somewhere above actually. If I didn't look at him, I would have thought it's coming from the heavens. And but for heaven's sake, what we are talking about here is happiness. So my only thing is that the goal of life is happiness. I often go and speak to kids and they say the goal of life is success, the goal of life is satisfaction, the goal of life is achievement, but success without happiness is possible, but it's not worth it. I've seen successful people who are not happy at all. Successful in material terms. I have talked about the fact that money, fame and riches, money and fame and success, these are things, power, these are things which are material, and they will not give you happiness until you're determined to be happy. So actually I don't need to say anything because all three of them have really hit the nail on the head, and maybe later in the piece. Yeah.
My question to you, ma'am Swarn, is do you think happiness is acceptance? I'll repeat my question again. I think all of us would be curious to even know this. Is happiness acceptance? Are we happy in accepting our life the way it comes to us? Let's listen from a very experienced person. Ma'am, over to you.
You couldn't have asked me a better question, Neha. Because I'm living a life of acceptance. I lost a young son about 5-6 years ago. He was in his final year of engineering, and he was a very handsome, strapping young lad, blonde-bearded and light-eyed, and the cynosure of all eyes. His names were in the papers: Teenage Titan, Young Turk, Gobind, Shahbaz Singh. So here I was, his mother, struck with the bombshell of realizing that he had 4th stage of Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it was a big tumor which was weighing on his heart. That did turn our life upside down in a jiffy. Obviously, because he was very alive. And he was he was a musician, he ran an internet magazine, he was also making Android apps, teaching slum children. So he was actually quite my world, you know, how it is with moms, they are the apples of your eyes. So this boy got back from cancer. He was completely cancer-free for about 5 months. So we fixed his sister's wedding. And 5 days before his sister's wedding, he died on a freak treadmill test on the treadmill. My husband, his father, was watching, and he just died of cardiac arrest suddenly, and he had tears in his eyes, and that image doesn't leave my husband's mind. And it taught me that acceptance is the key to carry on. Accepting that big thing.
Let's all give a huge round of applause. It's something that we all need to learn from.
I don't know if it calls for clapping. I don't know if it does, but it does teach me that the human being is capable of so much resilience, of so much acceptance. कि जो तेरा पाना मीठा लागे. So if you're accepting his will as the most beautiful thing which can happen, how can you not be happy? I wear my bright lipstick, I wear my pretty clothes, and when I look into my reflection, I think I should feel good because my son, if at all, he's in the heavens, or if there is a soul, or if there is a place somewhere above where he's guiding and helping me, my writing is proof of it. I have over 37 international and national awards. I couldn't have done it if Gobind was around. Gobind is doing it for me by goading me on. There's pathos in my poetry, there's joy in my actions, there is a purpose in my life. I want to be a good human being. I feel better. That is my happiness quotient. I know all of you can be happy. Why do we come out of our houses looking sadya hoya? We meet each other with a smirk, with a scowl. I don't see happy faces around me anymore. I don't see anybody saying, all you pretty boys and girls over there. I mean, like, why do you have to have this look of, nonchalance, or the look of, by Mary Jean's है ते ओदा बैग गुशी है ते ओदा Chanel दी perfume है. What is that all about? It is all about the smile you are giving him and the smile he is giving you back. There is nothing more to life. क्योंकि सामान 100 बरस का पल की खबर नहीं है, पल की खबर नहीं. तो उस पल को तो सुंदर बना लो ना, बना लो.
Thank you, ma'am. A mother with a courage, a mother with patience, a lot to learn from her. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Hari, when we talk about, you've traveled quite a bit and you travel quite a lot. I read about you. So, do you think happiness is a journey or is it a destination? Because we all are running. वो मिल जाएगा, उस समय कर लेंगे. That kind of a thing is there, We're looking for that end point. But is happiness a journey?
Happiness is a journey. There's no destination to happiness. Like I earlier said, if you want to go to LA, the happiness begins right from the word go, not when you reach LA. So, as Lily ji shared her story, that how she lost her young son and how she is happy. Now when I come to know that I am nothing but happiness, when I come to know who I am that soul inside this human body, and I know there is no death for me. Just like she knows that her son has gone to a different planet and has become her guide. Whatever she is doing, it is her son driving that. So that is happiness, because she can feel the presence of her son in whatever she does. So happiness is a journey. When my father left earth in the year 2000, it was his time to go. Just like what she experienced, I also experienced the same thing. My father became my guide. Since then, physically he is not with me, but in spirit, he's always with me. And knowing that, that is happiness. Now his journey on earth ended, but it still continues. So happiness is always a journey, whether we are in this physical body or we are out of it. It's a journey. Just like after day comes night, after life comes death, after death comes life. So it's a continuation which has no end at all. So happiness is not a destination, it's a journey, and it's a journey of love.
Thank you, Mr. Hari. Very well put forward. Mr. Atray, I have a question. How does
Sure,
it make
sure.
the world go round? I think a lot of youngsters have that question in mind as
Yeah,
well.
so I've got two very dramatic speakers sitting next to me, and I'm probably years of being controlled by the system have taken out the drama from my personality. I'm trying to emerge from that in the last 2 years, but still making efforts to become more, fancy in my outpourings. Not able to yet. My content though is similar to what these two ladies, the lady and the gentleman are saying, and the moderator. The point is that let's talk about a Golgappa wala who stands in front of Saint Kabir's school.
So, पानी आ गया मुंह में?
पानी मुंह में आ गया. वो सारे Golgappa lovers हैं. Your husband's what?
Favorite.
Oh, favorite. Okay.
Even this kid.
Where is he, by the way? Where is the Colonel? Oh, he's over there. Hi, Colonel. How are you? Chalo. So after this, you can go and have his Golgappa. So I used to cross him on the way from the office to Panchkula, where I live. And every day I see this Golgappa wala standing by the road, a poor man with a dabba, cardboard wala, a jar of pani and 250 to 300 rupees to earn per day, which is fine, I guess. Looks as if he doesn't have a care in the world. He's smiling broadly, uninhibitedly. Our smiles in society are plastic, they are tempered, they are controlled, they are limited, they are structured in a different way. Whereas if you let yourself go and are not bothered about what anyone else is thinking, then you are more happy. Because your smile is broader, you're like couldn't care less, gung-ho and just, going with the flow. So this guy, this gentleman, he stands there and smiles. And I could never have the gumption to stop and eat his golgappas because my mom told me when I was a kid, street side, be careful, this, that. But one day I wrote about him in the Tribune and I went and gave him a picture of that, a copy of that write-up, all laminated and stuff. And at first he was scared of me because I had a Sarkari Gadi and I try not to scare people, but he was a little, but then after a while he started smiling like he normally does and I was so happy. I had his Golgappas. I told him I've written about him. I translated some of it for him. But I realized that the poorest of the poor, the street urchin, the man on the boy who's begging, who's playing with water and kichad and whatever, chikad as they say in Punjabi. He's messing himself up and he's just not bothered. So bothering too much about what people think, what will happen tomorrow, as Gurdeep ji rightly says, this is the moment. And we're getting into spirituality towards the end of the session, I hope. Because this is the moment in which we have to do everything that we do. Because tomorrow never comes and our minds are always in the future or in the past. If we can make them live in this moment, we'll find happiness. If we're always bothered about what will I do day after tomorrow, or why did so-and-so say so-and-so thing to me day before yesterday, I am never going to be happy that way. So I need to find happiness in the small little things. That's important.
Thank you, Mr. Atray. Well, I'm looking at you. We have all generations sitting here. The smaller, the younger, early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, and so on. I have a very curious question. The pedagogy of happiness, does it shift from ages or does it shift when phases of life change?
Great question. I think both ways. A lot of it is age related too, because the sight of an orange candy bar or an orange ice lolly, which I had a fascination for when I was in Carmel Convent, and there was a thela wala standing right at the gate, and they said, "Isi thele wale se khani hai." So you waited with whatever that 10 rupees or whatever it was, कि आज मैं वो orange बहुत खाऊंगी. But I would not like it so much now because firstly they color my lips orange. I don't like my tongue orange. I'm looking for other things. Maybe I would prefer a pineapple pudding. So definitely age related. You would not like to be wearing your little pink dress anymore, perhaps. But phases of life, yes. When you are maybe an average person, a normal human being going about his business, nobody's even turning to look around you. You're behaving more naturally. You're a happier person. You like that famous Miller of the Dee, which we had in that poem, as blithe as a lark was he. Without a care in the world, because he's not being censored. We live in a judgmental world. Each one of us is judging each other. भला उसकी साड़ी मेरी साड़ी से सफेद कैसे? अब वो जो कैसे को मतलब to deal with that kind of a pressure, you're being judged constantly. It's sapping the happiness out of you. It's not leaving you the happy person you really are. I find myself happier when I can just be myself. Especially, I don't know if I should say it, but when I go to visit my daughter in the West, I just wear my rubber slippers, which are called flip-flops over there, and I wear a short top because I feel very conscious when I wear a short top in India. You're being checked out, even if you're a middle-aged, over-the-hill woman. Why? Because that's how Indian men are. They're made to do that, learn to do that. I don't know if I won't generalize. I take it back if you feel so. But when I go there, I walk out in my jeans and my short top, and that is a phase of my life I love. I keep telling everybody I'm so liberated to be an Indian woman abroad. I just love it, man. Don't send me home just as yet. I tell my daughter that. So that is a phase which I have come to, and I'm so glad that at this time in life, I'm living in an era when women can still do things which my mother couldn't do. You had to have a jersey juda, be an aus aurat, the kind you would have in a Hindi ki kitab, and wear a sir se sari and walk in a certain manner. Oh no, you don't really need to do it to be considered a good lady. The good lady image is taking a beating. You don't have to be turned out a certain way, so the phase is over now. Did I get your question?
Absolutely, ma'am.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Mr. Hari, you believe that body is a temple to pray. So, is happiness derived from within, or happiness is more materialistic? Like we were talking about, the Golgappa makes us happy, the candies makes us happy, the sunshine makes us happy. But do we all work on it every day? Is the inner engineering done every day to keep us happy?
That's what we need to do. Like you have said, body is the temple. This is the reality. We go to these temples which are man-made from bricks and stones, and we do our worship, but we forget our own body, which is the God-made temple, and it's made from flesh and blood. So our body is indeed the temple. And why we are not happy? Everyone wants to be happy, everyone wants to be successful, but why do we miss the boat? It is because we don't take our body as the temple. We will be very careful what we do in the man-made temples, not abuse those places, but this body, we abuse it left and right with a faulty lifestyle. So happiness begins from within us. If my cells and organs are working in a happy manner means they are healthy. So when the cells are healthy, what is going to flow out of me? Nothing but that happiness of health. And happiness really, it's bringing your mind, body and soul into alignment. With majority of us, these three segments, mind, body and spirit, are out of alignment. Just like, I'll give you a little example. If the car that you are driving goes out of alignment, what happens? Now the car is going to either move this way or this way instead of going straight. And if you don't fix that alignment, the front tires are going to start wearing unevenly. Your back tires will still be okay, but the front tires, maybe in 4 months or 6 months, you have to replace them. Same way, when our mind, body and soul are out of alignment, what happens? Our cells and organs, they start to wear off unevenly. And that begins the starting of sickness. So where there is sickness, obviously there can be no happiness. The simple thing to be happy is to put your mind, body and soul into alignment. Once you do that, everything is just fill in the blanks.
Thank you, Mr. Hari. Mr. Atray, a lot of us feel when they say no, fame, name, money, this is not happiness. But at the end of the day, money is required for sustainability. What are your thoughts? Do youngsters, the elder generation, do they feel happy? Money is also happiness?
See, there's nothing to be confused about here. It's very clear. We have to live in this world and do a job. We have to be successful in whatever we do. There's no point meditating under a tree and doing nothing. Even monks, monastics, nuns, they work a lot. I have seen people renouncing the world, but they work from 9 to 9. And there is so much to be said about achieving your goals, your material goals, having a comfortable lifestyle, being of influence. Being an influencer is a very fashionable thing nowadays. And being popular. Having goodwill. People say good things about you behind your back, that's your goodwill. That's the earning of your life. So it's all good. I mean, you have to do all this. But your attitude comes from within. You can do all this and yet be unhappy. You can have money and yet be unhappy. In fact, people with money are more unhappy. As I said, Golgappa Wala is the happy guy I've noticed. Because you have burdens of the mind. You don't sell your horses before sleeping, whatever it is. The point is that you have to have that attitude from within. Now, I often wonder whether I should say this in a public forum, but I'm going to say it. So Donald Trump and Barack Obama, two examples of people occupying the same assignment, the same position, the same power, the most powerful person in the world, one of them much richer than the other anyway. But the happier man is the one who has happiness from within. He spends time with the family, is able to bring that smile out of the family. And you were talking about this, who was calling his wife happiness? You call your wife happiness? So my happiness just walked in a little while ago. And another happiness is sitting somewhere over there. So I mean, family. So family and then friends, moments, little ones, compliments. Like you said, compliment the maid. I've never heard of a maid whose name is Simran, but if you say so, there is, okay. So the thing is that smile a little more. My people complain about my public speaking one sense only, hopefully. That is, I don't smile enough. I look a little, maybe. Maybe. No, not right now. So I need to smile more. But I think people who are effusive, who are outgoing, who are cheerful, that's a great quality. And who doesn't have problems in life? Everyone, however powerful they can be. You have to bounce back each time. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Atray. Now, audience, any questions? Happiness.
Sir, my question to all of you.
There's happiness on our face, so don't ask. Lily ma'am, just throw a joke.
Underemployed, people who are working at small places, they are very happy from their own concept. But don't you think so? It is the duty of social engineering and teachers and life coaches to tell them that this happiness will make their children, their offspring unhappy. That is a happiness only for a short while, and they don't realize how much harm they are doing to themselves, as well as employability is getting less. So this is my question to you.
Absolutely, Bhupendraji, if you could, he's talking about people who are looking at externals. Basically, life coaches or motivational speakers can never make anyone happy unless they're receptive. The sun is shining on the lake and it's reflecting the sunshine. So we have to be receptive to the sunshine. And any amount of happiness is not going to make us happy unless it comes from there. So anyone who's turning towards temporary measures, I have a theory on how many mangoes can you eat. You love mangoes, but can you eat 62 mangoes? You can't. So there's a use by date, there's a kind of, law of diminishing returns to material happiness. You will find it in meditation. You sit for meditation for 5 minutes and you will find yourself feeling calmer. You find yourself feeling more bouncy. Your breath becomes a little calmer. Your body is charged up. For those who haven't tried meditation, I keep trying every year to tell you to start. If you still haven't done it, please start.
Thank you, Mr. Atray. Any more questions around? Oh, we have a young man. I'll give you the mic. It's on the table there for you.
Thank you to the panel for this lovely talk. Giving myself an introduction, I'm an engineering student from Punjab Engineering College, and sure.
And you're wearing a wonderful colored turban and you look so handsome. God bless. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're being pushed to make smaller goals, it's a good idea. But if you have stars in your eyes, if you're looking towards the arshon ki taraf nazar rakhoge, to kahin jaake to tikenge na. You might just reach the terrace, you might reach the second floor, you might reach that penthouse in San Jose, it might be somewhere in the Himalayas. You might be the monk who sold his Ferrari. It doesn't need to be the Ferrari. You don't have to have the wheel under your arms. It could be you could be the guy who sold it and who's talking about happiness. So no, little joys are very important, Putter. Don't forget that they are not important. If you want to sit zameen pe and have sutta maar ke cha, shurr karke awaaz karke, do it. What is this etiquette?
What a nice way.
You're not sitting on a fancy table. You're not eating with fancy silver and cutlery. You're not eating out of, you're not drinking out of a crystal glass. Sit down, chaunkdi maar, apna sutta maar ke thandi karke cha pee, khushi mil le. Look for happiness whatever happens. What is this papi sansar all about? Do it. Matlab chotiyan khushiyan dhondo. Sit on the wall and talk to your neighbor. Find a flower and count the dewdrops on the petal. And then, I'm writing Urdu ghazals these days, so I'm going to say one share out of it. कि शादमानी मेरी जबीं पर है, शादमानी मेरी जबीं पर है, उसकी खुशबू यही कहीं, उसकी खुशबू यही कहीं पर। जी। एंड ऑल्सो आज ना से ना जाने कहाँ खो गया, जो ना से नहीं जानते वो समझ लें कि आज ना से ना जाने कहाँ खो गया, कूचा कूचा उसे मैंने ढूंढा मगर दोस्तों से जो पूछा तो कहने लगे क्या, भूपिंदर सर, दोस्तों से जो पूछा तो कहने लगे वो हसीनों की गलियों में मारा गया। तो भाई अगर हसीनों की गलियों में मर रहे हो तो वो भी अच्छा है, खुश तो हो ना। Look for happiness.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I don't think we have time for any more questions. So we're all these happy people on the stage are there after this to meet you. But I'd just like to say,
No, and superconscious, which is our possibility. This book can help you to understand your mind, win it over, and win the universe. His second teaching, he said, Seeko, Seeko, Seeko. Learn, learn and learn. इस मूर्त को मत पूजो जो इंसान ने बनाई है, असली मूर्त को पहचानो जो रब ने बनाई है. Don't worship this idol which man has made. Discover the real idol which God has made. Now, which is that real idol? The human body is that real idol. The meaning of worship is not well understood by most people. If we say that children should worship their parents, it doesn't mean that every morning they sit in front of them and chant, Jai Mummy, Jai Daddy. To worship means to take care of them. To worship your body means to take care of it. But if you don't know how the body functions internally, how can you take care of it? In school, they teach us the external signs. No one teaches the internal signs. There is this song which has these words, blinded by science, I am on the run. I am not an appliance, don't try to turn me on. This song is our reality today. We are blinded by science they taught us in school. And we are on the run. From the moment we wake up in the morning until we hit the bed at night, we are running, running, running at a pace which is destroying our lives. The sun rises and moves at a steady pace from sunrise to sunset. This is why it is so powerful and responsible for all creation on earth. Imagine if you could slow down, how powerful you could be and what all you could create. And it's true. We are not an appliance, rather this body is the appliance. We only need to know how to turn it on. Every morning when we wake up, we have two choices: to be happy or sad, to be healthy or be unhealthy, to be in heaven or to be in hell. To be happy, you have to be healthy. And if you are like a 25-year-old, even at age 50, 60, 80 or 100, and you're able to do all the things that you did in your younger days with the same strength and vitality, wouldn't that be a state of heaven? On the other hand, if you are sick and suffering from various ailments, dependent upon medicines for survival, and gradually losing your hearing powers, your mental powers and other bodily functions, and turning into an old person dependent upon others, wouldn't that be a state of hell? Heaven and hell are not somewhere out there. They are right here inside us in our state of health. My other two books, Mental, Physical and Spiritual Health, and Go Back to Nature and Heal Yourself, will help you to understand the internal science of the human body and change your lifestyle. After all, it's all about change. Changing yourself, becoming a better and more healthier person than what you were yesterday. These books can help you to begin that journey of change and create a heavenly body, a heavenly life and a heaven on earth, not only for yourself, for your family, and to become an inspiration to many others by attaining supernatural health and supernatural success. As we celebrate 550 years of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birth, I dedicate these books to him and to his teachings. And if we can make practical application of those teachings in our daily life, we can celebrate his birth every single day and turn this earth into a real heaven full of joy, full of service and full of celebrations.
So all of us must turn ourselves on. Soon after the session, there are books of our esteemed panelists on the stalls. Go grab them. It's a wonderful session. Thank you all for being here. Last words, let's all become Bhutan. Also, दिलों में बेताबियाँ लेकर चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम, आँखों में हैरानियाँ लेकर चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम, और जिंदा हो तो happy हो. So stay happy. Wish you all the very best. Enjoy the rest of the lecture. Thank you.